So did you guys hear that Komi has officially ended?
I was going to ask Gerry about that, actually, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't read that last chapter yet, I don't think.
Oh.
I've read like a little bit. Maybe like second to last.
Yep, it's over finally after a lot of chapters.
Here, let me see.
Almost
Oh,
500 chapters.
I'll give you the
$4.99 is the last one, huh?
yeah, $4.99. It started in 2019.
I think it's 8 years old. Didn't it start in 2018, 2016?
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, you're right.
The one shot was in 2015.
What would you say to anybody who wants to get into Komi, now that it's over?
Don't.
Get into Komi. That's all I gotta say.
Sorry.
What the fuck?
He said don't.
Just stick with the
Opposite
anime.
opinions.
Look, yes, all right. The anime is great. If you want to get into Komi-san, watch the anime. It's good. It's a good starter. If you want to go further, yeah, the manga's there. But be warned, there's a lot of useless bullshit that you don't want to listen to or read.
Yes.
When you say useless bullshit, are we talking about
Like filler.
anybody that isn't Komi?
Exactly.
Like
Anybody that's not
okay,
Komi or Todano or like the immediates. The more seasons that show up, the more people get like introduced, because the whole thing is about her making like 100 friends. You kind of don't give a shit about like the underclassmen, except for a couple. Like there's that Buddhist one who's fucking based, and
Yeah, I remember him, yeah.
there's a couple that are like funny, but during I would say that the moments with Tadano and Komi are like they're worth like the read, and like the little I like the little side story with the yandere, the stalker chick, and Komi. Like it's
a love triangle?
That's no. Well, I guess, but like her arc, I guess, keeps showing up down to like maybe the second to last or third to last chapter. I don't know if it wraps it up. I don't think it wraps it up well. Well, actually, yeah, no, it does indeed wrap it up well. She's still yandere, but Komi's like, nah, I won't spoil it. It's good. If you want to watch Komi. There's more. Just so you know, if it's something that you want, more slice of life but heavily comedy based, excuse me, it's a good one. It's a good read. Our friend made his dad watch it, and his dad is like awesome. So
Yeah.
if you want to be awesome, watch Komi.
I should also say it's the anime is very expressive. And what I mean by that is a lot of sound effects, a lot of crazy angles of the camera and stuff. Like, I was pretty surprised at how they handled like the first few episodes that I saw.
Do they only have 1 or 2 seasons right now?
It's only one, I think. The manga makes it really easy to translate manga to the anime. Like it's just simple gags. You don't really have to like take any liberties, I don't think, but it's anime, so there's always going to be something, right? But the manga is short and sweet usually. I don't know if it's always been for Coma, or if they like switched it up a couple of chapters, but it's normally just four panels, so it's an easy read. And by that, it should be translated like pretty well into the anime. It did pretty well, so I don't know. I haven't heard anything about a second season, but here's hoping, because it was, from everybody that I talked to, it was received pretty well.
I left off. Let's see. I'm 140 chapters behind Komi-san. I had a great time reading it, but yeah, I don't know if I feel like catching up to see how it ends. But maybe one day I will.
There's some good parts in there. Where are they at? Do you remember? Like, are they still like in senior year or
it's still
junior
high
year?
school? Yeah.
It's still high school, right? No, I mean, it's all of it's still high school, but
Well,
they're
in
not
their,
about to graduate, right?
They're in their last year. I think they're going out already. I don't remember.
Is Tadano going to his grandma's house? Komi's grandma's house?
Dude,
Because that is a part. That is a part, bro.
it was over 2 years ago. The last time I read.
The last time we brought up Komi was actually a couple months ago, and I don't know if you remember the discussion we had, but Gerry was talking about how like Komi was under the cover, whatever they have over there.
Oh my god! I would say catch up to it, because it's pretty good. If you can handle like the fucking filler underclassmen bullshit, that's fine.
I might just skip those chapters, honestly, just because usually from what I remember, those chapters were always dialogue heavy, and I'm like, I don't even remember meeting these characters. I just don't care.
Yeah,
and
there's a couple of those.
No Komi, no Tadano, no Reed. That's that should be the rule.
Dude, you sound like the fucking Facebook comments.
Yeah.
Every
Just the
chapter,
epitome of the
dude.
Sabo meme.
It's so funny because every chapter Tadano's in, the Facebook comments put up the Chad Sigma fucking black and white photo, but they put on Tadano's hair on it. It's so good, man. I think Tadano's story is done, honestly, because I haven't seen anything that was like important to his character. I guess like anything. I haven't seen my boy in a while. That's all I'm trying to say. Like he's in the sidelines. He's like, hey, good, nice job, Komi. You did it. You know, like in the background, but he barely has any dialogue outside of that, except for like the you know those chapters where all the boys in the class like are like they have the masks on their heads and like they all talk about like their fantasies.
Oh yeah.
Besides those chapters, he's in there, but other than that, you don't hear enough about it anymore. It's mostly just Komi just wrapping up everything, I guess. Yeah, it's
So she has like what, like an inner monologue? Is that what you're saying? Because you said she wraps it up, like she talks.
The story is wrapping up. She's like, I think it's tying loose ends, I believe, because the one with the yandere, you know, the one who's always trying to fucking like smell her feet or some shit. She she actually sits her down and asks her why like she likes her so much, and they kind of get to the root of it, but at the end she's still kind of yandere, but she respects Komi enough to like back off, I guess. I don't know. It was kind of unclear at the end of that chapter, but I guess that was a wrap up for that arc, I guess.
Cool. Well, I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah, now that it's over, I'll just kind of see. It looks like they had 2 seasons for Komi so far. I'm not really sure how many chapters that equates to. It looks like they have about 24 episodes, so I'll kind of go through that and then pick up probably from the manga from there, because I don't think that they've announced a season 3 yet, from what I can see.
Hey, there is also another manga that ended recently. Also from Shonen Jump, it was Mission Yozakura Family. Now, I'm behind on that as well, but that's a great manga. It finally got an anime, I think, last year. It's super good. It gets pretty crazy, like with a bunch of superpowers and stuff later, but it's very great, wholesome, good action. It's totally worth the read. And someone pointed out, actually, so this ended and Undead Unluck, like we said last time. So that means in Shonen Jump right now, there's no mangas from the 2010s era. So it's all a bunch of new generation stuff in Shonen Jump. Of course, except One Piece.
That is actually the end of an era. That's crazy. Moment of silence for all those who didn't pass season 1.
Yeah, and then it got me thinking. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell's in Shonen Jump. Like, okay, like Sakamoto Days, I know, and then just
One Punch
Kaiju
Man
number 8.
One Punch Man's not weekly though.
Oh yeah,
Like this is specifically the weekly Shonen magazine. Oh, I guess Kagurabachi.
They're gonna focus on Kagurabachi now, because obviously that's like the next big thing that they really want to roll out before any other serialization gets a chance to like push out their big stuff. So I feel like animation wise, they're gonna try to fall back on the Vigilantes spinoff for My Hero that just came out. I haven't really looked into that at all because I kind of
that's coming out.
Finished the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aside from that, it's just I'm pretty sure that they're gonna put a lot of their faith on like what they got now. So like Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man is not weekly though. That's Shonen Jump Plus. Yeah, I'm talking specifically just the weekly magazine that One Piece is in. In that magazine specifically, aside from One Piece, nothing's older than 2010, or that came out during the 2010s.
Yeah, you're right about that. I think the second oldest thing there would be I was gonna say Dr. Stone is probably the second oldest thing there. I think because that's
Dr. Stone's over. I think the oldest is probably me and Roboko, with the maid robot. Oh, and Elusive Samurai. Yeah. Witch Watch got an anime. We got the trailer. That's freaking awesome. It's a very wholesome slice of life. It's from the mangakas that did Sket Dance. And let me tell you, Skate Dance is pretty fucking good. So,
I've heard.
yeah.
I've always wanted to see that now. Now that I'm older, it's just like
Same.
all of like the cult classics are like here, there, and everywhere. You know, like that would be something. Like I really want to sit down and watch Sket Dance and Krotomari and like a lot of the other like gag animes that like people have really talked about past like half decade. I mean,
What was that one anime called where it's like the world? I think it was like the world.
the world God only knew.
No, oh that one, and then the world where dirty jokes don't exist, or something like that.
Huh?
Oh yeah, you're right. The world where dirty jokes don't exist. It says it's a novel series though.
Okay,
It looks like it was animated. A boring world where the concept of dirty jokes don't exist.
that's the anime. Yeah, I heard it was pretty good too, but it's one of those on the list that I haven't seen in the past decade.
She's got panties on her head. That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
I'm
Reminds you
already
of
down,
Hentai
dude.
Man. Hentai Kamen. That's the guy's thing.
Dude,
Oh, Hentai Kamen? Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
episode 10 is titled Masturbation Quest.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
Dude.
yeah.
Okay. what's the actual name called so I can write it down?
But it's called Shimoneta.
Shimoneta. Okay. I started A Plague's Tale.
Yes.
Innocence. The first one.
Yes.
Rat Souls.
Rat Souls, yeah, for real. When was this a PS4 title?
Yeah, it's last gen.
The first one, I think.
Okay, it looks like it, and it feels like it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's kind of slow. It like the story runs on chapters. It's a big narratives. It feels like you're going through a book. I'm on like chapter 8, and nothing about the rats yet. I mean, yeah, like I've been avoiding them. But it's mostly like a stealth kind of thing right now. It's pretty slow, in my opinion. I guess it's just setting up the world around you, and it's like it's very generic on what plague it is. Like it's France. There's what do you call them?
Is it not the Black Plague?
It's very generic, but we can say yes, it is because
Pretty
like they
much
call
is,
it the
yeah.
bite.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where like villages get infected already by the rats and shit. What are what's that fucking that army? It's on my tip of my tongue. That army that serves for God. What are they called?
The
The
Crusades?
Templars, but not Templars.
No, the Crusaders.
Crusaders. That's what they call it. Yeah, so it's like during that time in France, Crusaders. So you kind of already assume that it's like, yeah, it's a Black Plague, but they keep it really generic. Honestly, as slow as it is, the narrative, the story between Amicia, the main character, and Hugo, the other main character, I guess, the little boy, we're sort of building the relationship as the game goes on, and that part is really like, it's very sweet to me. I really like what's going on between the two characters because like they're born from the same, I think from the same parents. However, Hugo is like sick, so the mother is kind of like witchy, and she spends the most time with him, like trying to cure him, and Amicia is with her dad. And the story, pits them together, so they barely see each other as it is, and it's sort of like building their relationship as like big sister and little brother. It's adorable, dude. I like that part, but it is a lot of stealth. As a Metal Gear fan, you'd think I like it, but it's kind of slow.
I can understand where you're coming from when it comes to like the sneak aspect, because at some point you just want
I just want to control the rats already, dude.
I don't think that's gonna be a thing, right?
Maybe until like the next game. I don't know. I thought I saw something. Maybe it was like Requiem, the second game, was like nominated for something, and I saw like a tidbit on that. So
Yeah,
that itself made me fucking want to play the whole thing.
Yeah, the sequel came out, I think, last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, there might just be new mechanics.
Yeah, so I'm just checking my way there, I guess. But this game has photo mode, so I'm taking shots, posting that later on Instagram.
Ooh.
Yeah, buddy. And may I say, dude, you guys, I fucking finally figured out how to fuck with contrast and brightness at the same time.
Now we're talking, dude. Now we're talking.
But
Thank you,
didn't
thank
even
you.
need a YouTube
Thank you, thank you.
video.
Thank you.
It's fucking great. It's
Is
just,
that the
just
freaking
pure
clock?
instinct, dude.
Yeah, this game's fun. I'm trying to put my head to the grindstone, trying to finish it as fast as I can, just so I can like move on to the next one. But I'm absorbing every like small detail, every side character. So far, it's just linear, no side stories, which is pretty nice. Like no distractions.
Are there collectibles?
Yeah, and I don't know. I gotta be honest. If it lets me like transport between characters, it makes. Oh my bad. If it lets me choose which chapter to go back to, I might just get the platinum. Honestly, I'm like, I'll finish the game and whatever else. If it's like less than 10 trophies left, yeah, I'll try. I'll try to get the plat. But right now, like, it's just like find the collectibles. That's like some of the big trophies.
Collectibles are always a thing, dude. Honestly, ever since like the 360 days, where I would play Gears of War for the collectibles, I feel like those games go hand in hand with those kind of functions. You know, like you would have to do something to kind of bide your time as you're kind of going through like a linear plot. So I feel like collectibles would probably make the most sense. But yeah, hopefully they give you like a chapter select, because doing the whole new game plus that would be
I
bitch.
feel you,
Not gonna lie to
but there are some times where like this could just be me. I feel like I'm getting rushed at certain points, so I don't really have that like the urge to spend time to look for other shit, secret places to where I don't know extra materials and be lying around or some secret or something. It always feels like, because there are multiple points in the game where like you're getting chased. I feel like in some of those parts I may have missed some stuff. Like we'll see where I am at the end of the game, and then whether or not I'll go back. It's gonna take longer though, because I am taking like photo mode shots.
And that's great, dude. I forgot what game I was talking to a friend about, and he's like, "Oh, dude, there's photo mode." I'm like, "Okay, I'm in."
Yep.
You still haven't played Wukong, huh, Danny?
Nope.
You should pick it up when it goes on sale.
Yeah, I've only been playing Tekken recently. Been out and about this week, so I haven't had much free time other than just like reading.
Yeah, I saw you finished fucking Tao Te Ching. That's a fucking crazy read.
Yeah, so you know, we're book heavy now on this podcast. I don't know if you guys know.
It's a new era.
Yeah, new era. We're getting literature in our heads.
Fucking shoot yourself, dude.
But
Oh fuck! Wait, I pushed the wrong button.
yeah, we've been reading a lot of books. We talked about it here plenty of times. And last month I saw PewDiePie dropped a video, and I remember he did this before, and I just never got to it. But he is doing a book club this year, and it's all philosophy. Oh, I could be down for that. And then my other friends are like, "Yeah, let's do it." So upon reading the books I already have planned, also going to be reading some philosophy. And yeah, Tao Te Ching was the first one. It's a small book compared to like some of the other ones for like later in the year. So just something to ease in people who maybe don't know how to read, or not know read well, I guess I should say.
Okay, like how to take difficult concepts and rework it in your head so where you can understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Art of War on that anywhere?
I could pull up the list.
That's crazy, man. PewDiePie in 2025 starting a book club, and it's philosophy.
Yeah. Look, love him or hate him, you know, for whatever he may or may not have said. I don't know. Depends what video you watch. Yeah.
He's just using his dad gamer words, man. What are you talking about?
He's giving back to the community, all right? Gamers
Yeah.
need to, like, become enlightened so we can stop saying this shit on Call of Duty lobbies.
I've been enjoying like his recent content. It's not like I'm watching it all the time. Every now and then I'll watch something. It's like, oh, some lifting videos, great.
Nice.
He did some collaborations with some rock climbing YouTubers. That was pretty cool.
Nice. So we want to see you branching out, dude. We started Let's Plays. We started rock climbing. Start a family.
He read this book called Sun and Steel, and it's like it's a philosophy book, and it's also like with like working out as well, and like getting the mindset and like the Venn diagram between lifting and philosophy.
It's a book?
Yeah, Sun and Steel.
Yukio Mishima? It's an essay.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a super short book. Like, my copy's like under 200 pages. Yeah, so the next book we're in his club, if anyone's interested, it's In the Buddha's Words, is for February. And we got Meditations on First Philosophy. Epictetus, whatever.
The Epictetus? That's a philosopher.
Oh, no, that's his name. Oh, Discourses. It's his Discourses and Selected Writings. We got The Republic. Been meaning to read that for a long time.
By Plato? Oh,
yeah.
My God, you're going back, dude.
Critique of Pure Reason. Oh, gosh. A book of Ethics by Aristotle. The Iliad.
Oh, beautiful.
The World as Will and Representation. Thus Spoke Rohan. What?
Whoa.
Thus spoke Rohan. Yep.
No.
Yeah,
Thus
you're-
spoke
you're good
Rohan
on.
Kishibe.
No, thus spoke Zarathustra.
Zarathustra?
A book for everyone and no one.
Nietzsche?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting into Nietzsche? Damn, dude.
Siddhartha and
Siddhartha?
and
the Buddha?
Hegel's Phenomenology of Spirit.
You don't even know what the fuck you're saying, dude.
I don't.
Oh, shit. Hey, but
Oh,
no. Don't fucking read that shit, alright?
I will.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to say this again. When Wukong goes on sale, just pick up Wukong, dude. Taoism in and of itself,
Dude,
it is a very
honestly,
good segue into
yeah,
getting you where you need to go, especially for Siddhartha.
Hey,
Wukong.
you know what? This is one of those times, Oscar.
He said one of those times. Son of a bitch. Finish your fucking thought before I kill myself.
That's fucking right, dude. You should play Wukong if you're getting into all this philosophy, because there's a lot of stuff in there that is fucking, it's top notch. Like the fucking the musician, the headless musician, right?
Mhm.
He was saying something. I don't remember. I gotta go back and finish it. That's cool, man. I think I might join you in some of these.
Did you
books,
wait?
honestly.
Did you beat Wukong, Jerry?
No. I think I was almost done, but I was stuck on the fucking one of these hardest boss that you said wasn't even the hardest boss.
Oh, the
There was a-
dragon, right?
Yeah,
The
there
last
was
one?
yeah,
This one?
yeah, the yellow one. There was a point where my
Yeah.
PC just didn't want to keep up anymore, and I started skipping entire like grips of frames, and that fight requires me to use every single frame I can.
For sure.
So
For sure.
I don't know, man. Like either I upgrade or I buy it on PS5 or I never touch it again. Kind of want to play it again, but I don't want to go through the bullshit of like, because dude, this guy shoots every single lightning bolt at you. He throws up every single pebble in wind. He moves so fast. My PC can't keep up, and it makes me sad. So I don't know, man. I'll probably pick it up on the PS5 because I've come to terms with the fact that like big title games on the PS5, any other indie game stuff, I can probably play it on Steam until I get this Steam Deck. But yeah, man, the
Yes, sir.
Wukong, that shit, it's good. You should probably pick it up one day, Danny, if you're getting into all this stuff.
I will one day. I just need to play games again.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with Plague Tale. A good appetizer for all the reading you're gonna do.
Mhm.
But you, Danny's a smart dude. He's stoic already. He gets
I
the
read
gist
God
of
of
all
High
this
School,
shit.
guys. I already know.
He knows the stuff. Yeah.
You're the only person in the world who can say "I read God of High School" in a sentence and then mean that as a positive affirmation. I guess that's something to be proud of.
I mean, look, man. It's let's not act like God of High School has the only is the only series that has that kind of problem. Like it pops up all over the place, man. Where it just drags too long and it gets just so over the top. You don't even care anymore.
Just like a lot of the other shit we don't talk about, like Promised
Exactly.
Neverland, and how we don't bring that up anymore.
I mean,
What's
hey,
that?
it only got one season, dude. So that really sucked.
That's right.
I would be
So did God of
remiss.
High School.
I would be remiss in my own honor, and in all of our honors, if I wouldn't put Lookism on that list because it's really long, and it picks up at the very end, which is like it's not even done yet, which is like where it's just caught up. It's just now picking up. So I would put Lookism on that list too.
You know what? Just to add on to what you're saying, you know what's probably the thing that killed that series for me, and it's the most important thing, honestly, in my opinion. They decided to go with the Korean names. They didn't want to use the names from webtoons. I'm sorry, dude. Like when you say Zach's real name, and it's no, you fucking lost me, bro. Because his name sounds exactly like the other classmate's name, and their classmate's name sounds like the other person's name, just with more emphasis on the or something like that. And I'm like, I can't do this. You know, Zach Vasco Like, keep it simple, dude. So I don't think that they're gonna do that.
Yeah, keep
And I
it
don't think that
American.
they would do that.
When I first started reading it, they didn't do the American names, so I was like, oh yeah, like I can remember these names, and now I'm like, fucking, huh?
Yeah, they went back. So going back like, after that, it's gonna be like confusing as shit.
You know, it's kind of like with the Tekken Bloodline, the Netflix show. It was a good season. I enjoyed it, but I was like, man, like they really could have done the thing where they had all the languages at once instead of like just pick a dub. I'm sure like you can go download, you know, Tekken somewhere, and you can just watch it like that where everyone's speaking their native language.
That would be cool. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this. Do you remember a couple of years ago there was a arsonist that ended up burning down a studio?
No.
Kyoto Animation. So Kyoto Animation, they were the studio behind like Violet Evergarden, Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid. So a lot of these like kind of popular shows. I think it was like about 3 years ago. There was an arsonist that ended up burning the studio down. 36 people were in the building. So they ended up, obviously they ended up dying. 32 of them, I think, ended up getting injured. And so for a while, they just had this guy, on trial. And as far as I'm aware, like, I don't really know how the judicial system works in Japan and how long those kind of cases will take. But inevitably, he ended up, from what I read, just denying his appeal to kind of rebut what was going on for his case. So they basically just said, okay, you're not doing this anymore. We're going to, like, pass the verdict. And then they just decided to give him the death penalty.
Damn.
I bring that up because I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh yeah, I remember the studio, and I remember that event happening a couple of years ago. And they made a lot of stuff, dude. They made Clannad, Lucky Star, Canon. They did Full Metal Panic. They did Suzumi Haruhi. They did K-On. They did Nichijou. And I just wanted to kind of touch on that since that was something that happened.
That's a crazy topic, dude.
Well, I got one more for you before we talk about other stuff.
Let's go.
We are getting another new editor for One Piece.
That's right.
Hooray. Hooray.
Yeah, I think that's number 4 or 5 now.
The new editor's name is Junya Fukada. He is replacing Kaito Anayama, who had worked for One Piece over the last 3 years. Fukuda was the editor who was working on JJK and Black Clover. And the main reason why I wanted to bring this up was we kind of saw how, and I don't want to say all of the influence once the original editor for JJK passed it over to Fukuda. I don't want to like say like it was his influence that pretty much led to like the way that JJK ended, but I feel like it is something that should be worth mentioning based off how well JJK and Black Clover were doing. I just don't see this being like a complete positive, as if things will kind of work out well. I don't know what kind of decisions he would try to make as Oda's editor and say, hey, this works well, or this doesn't work well. Well, I know that a lot of people have fallen off Black Clover. Like, I just happen to keep up with it just because I really want to see it through the end. But I'm not in love with it. You know what I mean? Like, just where it's at now, I can tell you it's pretty much like a load of horse shit. Like, just fucking shonen all over the place. Like, powers on top of powers. Like, it's literally the epitome of, oh, you can do this, I can do this better.
Yeah, that's Black Clover in a nutshell. Yep.
My main concern is just like, okay, with the direction we're going in right now, with all the reveals that we're getting, especially for the reveal that we talked about last week with technically his name is Shamrock. All together, I'm just worried for the future of One Piece. Like, that's how I feel. I don't know if this is an entirely good thing, but I'm really like having the hairs on the back of my neck stand when I like think about what kind of processes and what he would say to be like, no, we should do it this way, and then just kind of have One Piece fall to shit.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. There's like a specific moment in One Piece's run so far where people point at like, oh, this editor was awful because like look how like the story kind of turned out or something. You know, it's kind of a give and take with editors. Like, of course, we're never really gonna know what kind of influence they have unless it's explicitly said, like in an interview or in Oda's case, like, you know, the SBSs for every volume that comes out.
Right.
I know the biggest one for One Piece I know is Oda didn't think about making the Shishibukai until like an editor like brought it up, and so they developed the Seven Warlords. Sure, it's not that big of a deal now, but it's like, think of like all those important characters in there, and like, just like how that changed the series. We'll never know. And it looks like the new person will be the 15th editor that's worked on the series.
Holy crap, that's a long line.
Like, if we're gonna be taking bets on like what an editor's influenced One Piece on, I would put my money on the change from the week trio. Like, after the time skip, like, oh, they're actually gonna be doing stuff, and now like they're just back in those roles essentially, and that's kind of a little disappointing. But I feel like that could have been an editor's choice if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, you definitely got a good point there. It's not like we can actually pinpoint what is and what isn't an editorial change. I will give you the positive that, of course, the editors are there to make sure that he's just staying on task. Everything is making sense and neat, and I get that. Again, I guess I just think, like, I don't know, I might be like hiding under a rock when I think about like the worst case scenario when like somebody who has had his hands on 2 different projects that have not done well towards the end. I guess, like, overall, my question is, what really could he do?
Well, that's another thing, too. I mean, I wouldn't say... I don't know where he's left off for Black Clover. I'm assuming it's before it left Shonen Jump, but, before it went to Jump Square, I thought it was doing better than it's ever done. Like, that last arc before the final arc was probably some of the best of Black Clover.
Is that where you stopped? So the Devil arc is where you stopped?
No. I read some of the chapters. Like, I'm probably behind like 4 chapters right now, just because I don't know like when they're gonna come out. So I just haven't really kept my eye on it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It's right at the start of the Elbaf arc. If we feel a weird shift in stuff, then it could be from him. We'll see. Some other changes from editors, and actually not from an editor. Senor Pink's backstory, an editor suggested that had to be put in. Oda wasn't going to give him a flashback at all. His editors at the time were like, are we really going to kill Ace? Like, I don't think we should kill him. Like, the fans, don't want him dead. And then Oda had convinced them, like, no, his death's important. We have to have it. And so they decided, you know what, you're right. We're going to keep it in.
Yeah, overall, I feel like with as much work as he's done, it's, I don't know, I guess it would feel like wrong. I want to use just the word wrong because I can't think of a better word, but it would just be wrong to take that, like, that creative directiveness that he has. Understood, like, there are crucial points like Senior Pink. That was like 100%. That was a great ad. Anybody that watched the flashbacks or read it, like, we're all aware that was crucial. But yeah, like, I also agree with the fact that, like, Ace did have to die. We're not, like, perpetually, like, in some sort of series that, like, everyone's just gonna have a happy ending, or like no one's gonna be dead. It's not Batman. With the way that obviously the plot unfolded, everything ended up, going into, I feel like, into like the right niches for the characters to kind of just expand from there into doing what they do, especially Blackbeard. I know that we haven't really just jumped onto the topic of One Piece like immediately, but like I just, like, I'm so curious as to what happens now with what Blackbeard is doing, and I just hope that there's more expansion on that kind of soon rather than later. And I know that has to take away from everyone on Elbaf. I just think that he's a very interesting character, and I, like, if they're gonna, like, show me what's going on at wherever Emu's castle is, right? Like on top of
the Red Line.
The Red Line,
mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. So, like, just things like that, right? Like, we saw Vivi with Walpole, things like that. Like, just, I'm here for it. If that's the direction we need to go in, then okay, I agree. Editorial decisions where they make sense, continue to make sense. Do your thing, and I'll just wear my heart on my sleeve, I guess, because One Piece is my childhood. It is still alongside with the rest of you my adulthood as well. So, like, I hold this in high regard. Like, don't fuck with my baby. I don't really know how else to explain this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Look, just because you hate JJK doesn't mean One Piece is gonna be canceled.
You also hate JJK.
Yeah, JJK sucks, dude.
Did you see the next chapter of Berserk is coming out on Valentine's Day? Fucking
yeah.
Awesome, dude.
Did you guys read the last 2? I forget if we talked about that.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's up to 378 now. So 378 and 377.
It looks like Guts is done being depressed. Is that what I'm seeing?
No,
Okay,
I don't
never
know.
mind.
It was where they were having the they were already in the I don't know what this kingdom is called.
Yeah,
like the Kushin Kingdom.
Yeah, the
Falconia?
Kushin Kingdom. No, not Falconia. We were in the other kingdom.
Oh,
and they were having a roundtable discussion about Falconia. Yeah, and so they were having a discussion with like the king and like all this other stuff, and then there was like one of Griffith's demons hiding amongst them, and that was like the end of the whole chapter. No, they killed it, and then that was the end of the chapter.
That's right.
I'm back to watching television, guys.
What?
Ew. With
Yeah.
ads?
I was no,
With commercials?
dude, no. TV shows, dude, television.
Oh,
Come on, man.
oh, I see what you. Okay.
No, I'm not turning the cable
Notice
on.
how he didn't say
Fucking-
streaming.
Anyway, what are you watching?
I was intoxicated the other night because
Nice.
going out. And
That
I'm
explains
like,
how he was watching TV.
As one is.
as one is, and I'm like, well, I got food. I gotta watch something while I eat. Yeah, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, it's time. Went to Max, and I started watching Vice Principals.
It's a great show. It's a great show.
Yeah, it's Danny McBride
fucking-
and Walton Goggins. This is before they did Righteous Gemstones. I'm 3 episodes in, and yeah, it's pretty good so far.
I fucking love the way that Goggins talks to fucking
Oh my
Danny
god,
McBride.
dude, he has me
He
cracking
just-
up, man.
The way the way he puts this nigga down is so funny, dude. So great. If I'm not mistaken, like Danny McBride's like a single dad, right? He's like a recently divorced dad or something like that.
Yeah, so yeah, he's a divorced dad, lives by himself, and it's that cliche where he hates the stepdad, but the stepdad's just like a really chill guy, you know, that's just trying to hang out and get along with everybody. And like even his daughter likes him, and he's like, man, fuck you, Ray.
And I literally played that in Danny's voice as you said it right now. McBride's voice as you said it right now.
Yeah, so he's just an asshole to everybody, you know, self-centered, pissed off all the time. It's like, it's great. It's just Danny McBride being, you know, what he likes to be. Fucking Walton Goggins, man. He just has like this weird sassy swag to his walks and stuff. And he also has an attitude towards McBride. It's so funny. And he's married to a Korean woman, and like and her mom lives with them, and like you just see like their house for a little bit, and it's just so batshit. Yeah, no, I'm having a fun time with the show.
You gotta let me know when you give Righteous Gemstones a try.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you're gonna be one of those people that does one show before the other. They have nothing to do with each other. But if you just whenever you decide to get into Righteous Gemstones, just let me know. It's so fucking good, dude.
yeah. I was like, you know, I'm gonna watch this one first, mostly because it came out before Righteous Gemstones, and this is also only 2 seasons.
I don't know if Righteous Gemstones is getting another one. I think season 3 was the last one.
No, it's getting a 4th season.
Are you serious? Did it get announced?
Yeah, the season 4 is gonna be the final season, and it's premiering in March.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I know, it's funny. My friend's like, well, if you actually want the canon order, you have to watch Eastbound and Down first, then Vice Principals, then Righteous Gemstones.
I forgot about Eastbound and Down, dude.
That's all I ever knew. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Danny McBride show. Like, because I always remember like the cover of him wearing like he has like the really bad tan from wearing those pit vipers.
I think he's a pitcher, right?
It looks like it, yeah.
I forgot he was like basically he's a baseball star, Gerry, and he's like I think he's major league, but he was like a specific position. I don't remember which one. I think it was pitcher. Yeah. The McBride series, so good. He's a good director too. Like just so that before we like hop off his dick real quick, Danny McBride, phenomenal with his directorial senses, dude. Like he's pretty spot on for some of the and like the Righteous Gemstones. It has a lot of dramatic moments too. Like it's not just funny all of the time. It's not like Ozark level drama, but it's still like to me it kind of cusps on like him actually wanting to give a shit when he tries. So I mean like just let me know how you feel cuz like that shit is good and when you see John Goodman do all of his important parts, like all of his dramatic parts, it fucking hits, dude. He did such a good job casting John Goodman as his dad in Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, yeah.
It fits so fucking well. So fucking good, Gerry. You don't like that show too, I promise.
Yeah, pretty fun show. And also the another reason why I'm watching it now is because each episode's only 30 minutes. So I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I was expecting like hour long, you know.
That's Gemstones. Yeah, they're like 45 minutes to an hour.
And Walton Goggins' outfits in this show are just ridiculous, bro. He's got the sweater
He's got
vest, the
fucking
bow
suits,
tie.
dude. Like he'd be putting that shit on though.
But yeah, I'm gonna go through this show, man, and I'll let you guys know when I'm done. I finished Elantris, and I think you said you're halfway,
Nice.
right, Gerry? You know what? This is my second Sanderson book, right? Not including Wheel of Time. I gotta say, he's 2 for 2 right now, with the last 10% of the book just being like, I gotta read this right now. Like, you think I'm putting this down, dude? No, it's getting like super good right now. Yeah, great book. I can understand why some people say it's his weakest out of all of his books. And, you know, it's his first published book, like we said last time. And it didn't even click for me last week. But, yeah, this year marks the 20th anniversary for that book. I have the 10th anniversary edition, so there's, like, a lot of notes that he wrote in there just talking about, you know, Elantris and, like, its life 10 years from then. And it's interesting because it's his first book, and then I believe the book after was Mistborn, right, which is his second published book. But as far as written books, there's a huge gap between Elantris and Mistborn. So he, you know, emphasizes that, like, yeah, I matured a lot in between those two books, so I could see, like, why, like, you know, so much changed in, like, his technique and, like, his skill. So that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, so, you know, to be fair to this book, like, at his level at that time, I think he did a good job.
Yeah, for sure. What I'm getting out of it in at least halfway through, the world building is powerful. Character building is pretty well right now. There's still some questions I have that I'm just gonna read through, probably answer them later. Like you said, this is early on Sanderson work, so if you're gonna read Mistborn after this, it's gonna be a good time. Mistborn is definitely, like, I feel like it's faster paced than this one. It's gonna be a better time. I gotta catch up with this book. I'm almost on part 2.
Oh yeah. Part 1 is super long, but yeah, 2 and 3 are not that long. And to my surprise, I haven't seen this happen in any other book, but it's the 10th anniversary edition, and I'm reading, and there was like some deleted chapters that he took out, and I read that, and like I can understand why. Because it would kind of change the book, like not a whole lot, but it definitely would have made it longer and had to move things around. That was good to read, and then, you know, I get to the very end of the book, I'm like, okay, I'm done, and then I look, I was like, oh, what is this? And it's like a couple paragraphs, and I'm like, dude, did this guy just put a fucking post-credit scene in this book?
Yeah. I'm definitely looking that up after.
Yeah, it was good. It really did feel like a post-credit scene. I'm glad I read some other books before, so that way I can understand like what was happening. I was like, oh wow, like that's pretty cool.
Nice. We got DLC.
I also read his short story Hope of Elantris. It came out I think a year or so after the book, and it's not like you need it. It's just a nice read. It's like under 30 pages, and it's involving a character within Elantris. Specifically during like one of the high-end moments towards the end of the book, so I won't say what's happening there. In the copy I read, he explains how he came to this, and his wife now, like they just started dating not that long after Elantris came out, and she's an English teacher at a school, and one of her students did like this huge like project for Elantris because she loved the book so much. And it's like, whoa, like, what are the odds, like, the person I'm dating, her student, loves my book, and, like, she doesn't even know, like, there's no connection there. Sanderson was so captivated by that he decided, you know, like, I gotta give her a gift.
Oh, that's
so he wrote, the short story and named the character after the student. And I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And he's like, you know, I don't know if that gave me any points or not, but, you know, we're married now, so...
Yeah, that's right. He did it all for the Nookie.
The next Sanderson book I'm going to check out just because it's short. I don't know when I'm going to read it yet, though, but when I get to it, it's going to be The Emperor's Soul. It's not really, like, super important to, like, the whole Cosmere stuff, but this book it takes place on the planet that Elantris is on, just in, like, a different continent, I think. So I'm curious to see, like, what other stuff he has to tell about that planet, because, you know, obviously there's going to be, like, the whole magic system. They're all different in all the books. So I'm curious, like, okay, what else can you do with what you were doing in Elantris?
I've been telling myself that I'm going to wait until the next book to start listening to the audiobook and reading it simultaneously. But I feel like I'm just going to wait until I probably get to, like, the middle of the book and then just try to seek it out.
All right, guys, we got some emails.
Let me see
If you have any questions or comments, of course, you can send them over to unversedpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll bring them up on the show here. This one comes in from the boy Mark, so thank you as always. Yeah, I kind of just forgot about this, but he's like, hey, guys, the Switch 2 got announced. I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm not going to lie, like, you shared it, Oscar, in our group chat a while ago. And when I didn't even click on the thing yet, I just saw the thumbnail. I'm like, man, this shit fake as fuck, man. Look at this thing, man. And then I looked.
Oh, wait, that's real, dude.
Yeah, and then later in the day, I looked. I was like, oh, damn, that shit was real. Dang, that's crazy, man. And I didn't even watch the announcement or like what details or whatever. But according to the email here, they didn't really mention much other than that it's backwards compatible, so you can play Switch 1 games, which is great. And it's like maybe in the April Direct, if they mention that there's not going to be any boost in frame rate or whatever, are you still going to grab the Switch 2 or are you going to wait for the sale? And like, yeah, like people say like first party Nintendo games do suffer because, yeah, it's just not a powerful machine, so the frame rates drop pretty crazy. You know, my answer to that is, yeah, who cares, dude? I'm not getting that.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, since I bought the Switch, honestly, I have not. There was that. I want to say we gave it a good year or so that we were like really into Smash, and then like just like all things, you know, like you just kind of fall off. But Nintendo has not really been anything that I have gone back to. The last time I went back to Nintendo was for.
Is it Metroid?
Technically, yes. I was actually thinking of the Legend of Zelda game that came out last year. Like, I have not really touched it much at all. I heard that they're going to be releasing a lot of games, like possible remakes for like the Switch 2 lineup. Like, I heard that they were going to remake Wind Waker again, and that they're also going to remake Twilight Princess. And so those two games are going to be launch titles, along with like a new Mario Kart, supposedly a new Smash Brothers, which, from my understanding in the articles that we read like not months ago, but like years ago, the main director for Smash, he said that he was done with Smash. I don't imagine that if there is a new Smash, it would be with Sakurai.
Yeah, just because he's done don't
Who
mean
knows?
Nintendo's done, bud.
That could be true. Don't mean it's going to be good. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Smash is an interesting one because, yeah, that is always one of the launch games, or at least like right after launch. Yeah, I don't know. Like everything's there. Sakurai. I mean, like I just joked, but yeah, like Sakurai is done. You know, like one of my friends, he's a big Smash guy essentially. Like he used to go to tournaments a lot and stuff, and like he still has friends that do. And from what like we talk about, it's like, yeah, like people don't even really like Smash Ultimate that much. Like they rather just play Melee or one of the other ones.
I don't really think it makes a big deal to Nintendo because they were still the ones that pulled the trigger. But I do think that it is a huge loss that Smash games are basically no longer like viable in places like Evo. Like I want to say like major fighting tournaments. You know, because of the whole thing that happened a couple of years back. Like if we get a new Smash, cool. But all the same, I don't really feel like it's going to get that giant level of popularity that like basically we couldn't put it on the pedestal with the other fighting games anymore because of everything that's going to happen with the new Smash and all the red tape that you would have to go through to get any tournament set up for it. You know what I mean? Like I just ultimately I'm not really expecting much, I guess, with the way that everything is set up these days, the culture that Nintendo has made for Smash.
Well, I will say, though, like there aren't like big tournaments like with Tekken, Street Fighter, you know, like all the other like big fighting games. I don't think the hype will ever die down for Smash. Right? I think Maximilian, dude, he's brought it up plenty of times to where like, yeah, Smash is special, dude. Like, it doesn't even matter what they announce. Like, it's gonna be huge, and the big reason is because of all the crazy guests that can come in. You know, like how consistently crazy each guest was. And even to tie it off with Sora, which, a lot of people thought was impossible. So I think, like, Smash will always have that in its back corner.
I think the other thing I'm worried about for Switch... I guess to answer Mark's question, no. I'm not going to get it. But to answer go more in depth as to why I would say no is just because I would not put it past them that for certain games, because of the hardware upgrades that they're going to do for Switch 2, that they're just going to be switched to exclusives, you're not going to get me to go off this to get on the wagon again for having to put down another $300, $400 for a console, to pay another $60, $70 to get a remake because you paywalled it behind the upgrade instead of making it for your previous generation. Switch might be like an old console when we talk about how long it's been out, but it's not old to the point where like games could not be made for the Switch. Like we talked about this before for like PS4 and PS5, but people need to do like obviously the debug kits and things like that to get their game ready for like console launch. But I also think in that same vein that the Switch might be old, but it's not old enough where we still couldn't get new launches for the Switch. Like they're probably not going to discontinue new Switch games for like at least another year or two, because I think it always starts with the store closing. You know, like how they did with the DS store.
I mean, Japan's different because the way like the culture is over there. Like people still had PS3 for years before they started picking up, PS4. Same thing with, I mean, PS5 is a different case because of the limitability and stuff. But a lot of people still play PS4 out there. But no, I gotta disagree, Oscar. Like at least like if we're talking third-party games for the Switch, like yeah, they gotta stop. Like it's probably not gonna happen, right? Like maybe like a few years once they get a good amount of sales for the Switch too, they'll stop. But yeah, no, that thing just is rough. The only people that could really use it to the best of its abilities is Nintendo itself, and probably like a lot of indie developers whose games don't really need a whole lot of hardware to run. And the Switch is old. It's over 9 years old at this point, I think. Or Switch is turning 8 this year.
That fucking name pisses me off so much.
I can't believe that they really went with Switch 2. And
Right.
that the
You
fake
and me both.
fake logo that people kept throwing around was the real logo the whole
Real.
time.
Everything was real.
Why throw Super away? Why throw it away? That's
Oh, like
what you
Super
guys were
Switch?
known
Super
for.
Switch. Yep.
Yeah.
Or
the
even,
Nintendo Super Switch.
Or even the new Switch.
Switch new.
That's what they.
Yeah.
That's what they did for because the 3DS went through so many different variations. There was the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the
New
new
3DS.
What was it?
It was just new 3DS.
The new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah.
And then I think they also made new Nintendo 3DS XL.
Yeah.
So there were like 4 variants of it basically, And so I'm like, again, like that wasn't even a bad idea. Like that makes that the name scheme makes so much fucking sense. And I just
New is fucking
You throw
stupid
it to
though.
the
Don't
wall.
don't put new in your goddamn title. Like that is just
at that point I understand because they already had a Super 3DS. So it's a new
No, they didn't.
Nintendo 3DS. Didn't they?
No, it was just 3DS.
One of their titles was Super, I remember.
Not for the DS. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I was never a Nintendo kid growing up. I mean, all I had was I had my Game Boys, sure, but it's not like I had like Nintendo games. I just had games on the Game Boys. So I have no real connection to, their IPs specifically. So yeah, I just don't really want to. I don't see myself investing in a Switch again when like mine's still collecting dust over there. And so yeah, thank you for the email. Always appreciative on that. And again, yeah, we bring those up on every episode. So if you have any questions or comments, bring them in. I'll keep it nice and easy today. There's a page I started following on Instagram called SigCats with an underscore in between, and it's just what it says. It's just a bunch of paintings of cats just smoking different kind of cigarettes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they'll do different poses, different outfits, whatever the vibe matches with whatever brand they're smoking.
Marlboro Cat?
Yeah, so you got this orange cat smoking some Newports, and he's just like lounging back inside some Nike swooshes. There's an angry cat on a skateboard smoking a cigarette.
I really like how a lot of these are just shitty tattoos.
Yes, and people have gotten the tattoos. Yeah, it's a nice art style. Yeah, shitty as a compliment for
Like
this.
this guy has a thing for buzzballs
Look,
in Arizona.
look. Shitty,
Is that the
shitty in a grunge way.
Is that the chug jug?
Yeah,
No,
I
no, the
think it
fucking
is, yeah.
shield potion.
He does do commissions as well, and there's some of them are in here. Like I think there's a cat next to a bottle of Malort and American Spirits.
Ooh, dude, of course Eric Fedora loves like all of these.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I see his fucking name pop up everywhere.
I follow animals you never even heard of.
I'm on creatures you never even heard of before.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But yeah, like this cat's sipping a Baja Blast, smoking a blue pack of Camels.
Oh my god, that Malort one's pretty good. That's actually my brand of cigarette. Fuck.
A bunch of cats posted up in front of 7-Eleven, smoking.
Marlboro is the key, dude.
Virginia Slim.
This cat. There's a yellow cat with a hat that says "I love bad movies," drinking a PBR with a joint.
There's a Solid Snake one. He's under the orange box, and he's smoking Lucky Strikes.
And that's accurate.
Yeah, it is. This guy knows the shit. Well, that's
pretty cool. There's a lot of unique art out there, and I think this is one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, check him out again on Instagram is sig_cats, and he sells shirts too on TeePublic. What's my new gym shirt looking like?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, he sells prints too. Oh, that's cool. Okay, they're not on the posts, but on his on the TeePublic site, the cats have names. Okay, the 7-Eleven one, it's Taki, Taquito, and Gregory.
War Baby's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. You
Clarence.
got Gilbert, Fifi, Chloe, Little Choo Choo.
Princess Rangoon, that's adorable. Bagel and Mephisto. Oh, these are awesome.
Princess Rangoon on the Newport.
They're so adorable.
Oh, these are actual cat names though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they all fit.
Yeah, dude. Whoever thought cats smoking cigarettes would be the coolest fucking thing ever.
So with that, gamers, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode for ya. Thanks for listening. We're going to catch you next week.